back to Illini Bears talk. We got the new setup now. We
Back
took
at
criticism.
college.
We're gonna try something new, and
Mhm.
yeah, I
Shout
mean,
out to StreamYard.
there's been some news lately. Obviously, it's been a week or so since Shane Waldron and the staff got completed, but there's been some interesting quotes from the Senior Bowl, and also, I guess, some news outside of just the Bears space that may be relevant to the Bears. So why don't we dive into it?
Yeah. So starting off with the new offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron. Love that hire. I think we got the best offensive coordinator in the whole out of everybody. We He should have never been um like let go, and we still got him. It was amazing that they got rid of Pete Carroll, so he was available to us. It really poses the question now if what would make the number one offensive coordinator come to the Bears? Is it because of Justin Fields, or is it because of the probability of coaching one of the best QB prospects in the last 10 years? It's definitely food for thought for sure. And I'm just really happy because from what he did with Geno Smith and who else? Russell Wilson. Just he's coached a lot of talented QBs, a lot of dual threat QBs, and he changed Geno Smith's career around. So why couldn't he do that for Fields? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, uh, it is really an interesting question. You got to talk about why the top coordinator on the board, probably for many teams, decided to come to the Bears. Now, a lot of people will look at the number one overall pick, including myself. I think, being able to work with potentially Caleb Williams is a huge attraction, especially to a team that is trending up. But I think, another thing that people aren't talking about is, I mean, it's no secret that the Bears' history on offense is not very great. And, being a coordinator and coming into Chicago and being able to turn around that offense and even produce something that's like just good enough, not even like an elite offense, but being a play caller that's just good enough for the Bears can actually get you a lot of interviews. I mean, Adam
Definitely
Gase got hired after
the
2015
goat.
with Jay Cutler, and we didn't even make the playoffs that year. It's not like our offense was that great or anything. It was a terrible decision on the Dolphins' end. But I mean, you can see Shane Waldron, if he came to the Bears and maybe produced our first 4,000-yard passer ever, of course he's going to get a
He
tons of
definitely get
interviews
his flowers, 100%.
of the list. So I mean, to me, I think it's those two. Getting to work with number one pick, but also the potential opportunities, owning your own offense, and if you're able to turn it around, I mean, you're going to be the hottest coordinator in town.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and especially with Luke Getzey getting offensive coordinator interviews, it's a little bit unfathomable to me from like a Bears fan. Like I know we're all split on quarterback and everything, but we can all agree Luke Getzey was not a good offensive coordinator. So there's genuinely no reason why he should be getting interviews from the Patriots and Saints. Um, he is still a front runner for the Raiders offensive coordinator position as we're speaking right now, but I don't think he'll get it. I think maybe it's more of just picking his brain, seeing stuff about Justin Fields if they want to make a trade for him, or they think that Justin Fields was the issue in Chicago and Luke Getzey's actually a good play caller. Which, like, putting my bias aside, I really don't think that's the scenario there. Like, there's been many times Justin Fields bailed out Luke Getzey, and I'd say very minimal times Luke Getzey bailed out Justin Fields.
Yeah, and you know something I'm really happy about with this coordinator search has to be, I mean, for me, Shane Waldron. He checks so many of the boxes that previous offensive coordinators or even head coaches
Just a
did
very
not.
dynamic offense he runs.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I love hiring from the McVay tree. So Shane Waldron's background, he worked as a tight ends coach with the Rams, and then moved on to becoming the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks for 2 years. And that leads me to, arguably the most important thing about him is he has 2 years a play calling experience, and that's massive. I mean,
Yeah, that's the big one.
Luke Getsy was the third guy in line on the Green Bay offense. He was
Wait, he's
under
the QB's
not
coach.
only
The
Matt
QB's
LaFleur,
coach. He
he was
worked
under
with
Matt
Rodgers
LaFleur
there.
and Nathaniel Hackett. So
Yeah,
I mean, you're really far from play caller. Even Matt Nagy called plays for half a season in Kansas City before his privileges got taken away from him. So I mean, yeah, like we actually have a proven play caller and also a guy who's attracting offensive staff, like really renowned guys. I mean, let's talk about Thomas Brown. Let's talk about Kerry
yeah,
Joseph. Two guys. I mean, you can speak on this. Like we don't
yeah,
see people want to work for the Bears if you're an offensive guy.
yeah. I mean, Thomas Brown, he was ranked. The NFLPA had a what's it called, a poll on top 5 offensive coordinators, and he ranked number 5. So he was doing a good job in Carolina last year after Frank Reich got fired. And him wanting to come here and be a passing game coordinator really does show like Waldron can bring his guys. Plus, like they probably want to work with Caleb, in my opinion. I feel like these hires do point towards Caleb. Like you have the number 1 overall pick. Like it's a little bit indicative, but you never
Mhm.
know. So,
Yeah.
especially with Kerry Joseph, like they came to him at the Senior Bowl. You can actually talk about what they said about the Senior Bowl, but it was pretty telling.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was an interesting quote by Kerry Joseph. Someone asked him what he's kind of looking at and what he's looking at for his ideal quarterback. I mean, trying to get whatever they can. He said, arm talent, accuracy, delivery, quickness, physicality, toughness, swagger. You got to have a little swag playing the quarterback position. And when I say that, I mean confidence. And I mean, this was maybe the most interesting part of the quote. He said,
Yeah.
I like to say arrogance, but arrogance to me is all about confidence under control. So, I mean, I've seen many people debate, oh, he's talking about Justin Fields. Oh, he's talking about Caleb Williams. I don't know if he's talking about either. I think that's just ideal quarterback, but it also shows you like we're not going to get any tells from this offensive staff early on, and I think they know that they're not going to show their hand and reveal who they want playing quarterback because like I truly believe those traits describe both Justin Fields and Caleb Williams, especially like maybe the arrogance part. Some would say
Yeah.
is attributed to Caleb Williams, but you never know. Maybe people see that as a positive that like this guy has supreme confidence on the field. So
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, you can't really make much out of that. So it's pretty like it's kind of a wash. I really still think decision's not made, but with all the insiders coming out, like Brad Biggs, Albert Breer, all of them, they're saying that it's most likely Caleb. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing. Like, I just really hope if we take Caleb, we take him 101 and trade Justin Fields. We don't keep them both on the roster. And then coming to the fact that with what happened with Kliff Kingsbury yesterday, he was the he actually got like the Adam Schefter tweeted he's going to be hired as the Raiders offensive coordinator, and then this morning he just withdrew from it, so it was a little bit weird. And right away after the Commanders, he's now a finalist for the Commanders OC position, and you can start drawing speculation to why he would probably want to be the number 2 overall pick, offensive coordinator. On top of it being, I don't know. On top of it, he's the QB coach for Caleb Williams, and
yeah,
Twitter was probably set ablaze today from the Fields cult, and I wouldn't say I was. I don't think it's that big of a deal, like that he's on. Like if he becomes the Commanders' offense corner, I don't think it's a big deal. I
I
just
mean,
think
yeah. It's
like
everybody's just they want that little drop of information. Anything that people can click
yeah,
onto. I want like, oh, this means like I was saying, even with that quote, who the hell knows who he's talking about in that statement? Yet people are gonna try to make it sound like it's a Fields quote or a Caleb quote or whatever. This staff is not gonna tell its hand, and you know It's a very interesting. I mean, I'm sure it's an interesting thing to talk about. I mean, Caleb's quarterback coach or was he offensive coordinator at USC? Well, he was
I think he was the QB coach. QB
QB
coach,
coach.
senior analysis.
Yeah. Okay. So even like an analyst role, whatever. Works with
Yeah.
Caleb Williams. Uh, the Raiders. He was going to take their job. Turns out that didn't work out because of contract issues. But now reports come out that he's going to be likely a finalist in Washington. So I guess the speculation there is, oh, he hears rumors that Washington might have opportunity to go up and work with Caleb Williams, and he would like to do that. Um, I mean, you never know, but I don't see it that way at all. I think it's just a silly reading into,
Yeah, yeah.
taking something that's just small information and trying
Just
to
I feel
make
like grabbing at
it.
straws, like as some one Twitter user always says, grabbing at straws. But I think, you know, I haven't seen much that says they're keeping Fields, so I'm pretty sure it's most likely Caleb. But I will say that with like the last thing I want to say is that Kliff Kingsbury, if he does become the Washington Commanders offensive coordinator, they'll definitely at least make a package for number one.
Yeah.
Because he definitely, like, if he got to choose any QB in the league to coach, it'd be Caleb Williams. He was just with him, and he just had a Heisman year 2 years before. I know he wasn't there after, but he has so much potential. He already knows him, perfect fit, everything's perfect. And if we were to accept a trade offer like a king's ransom from 1 to 2, I would be very very sad if we took Drake May at 2 because
I don't know if the Commanders that will be trading up actually, might be the Chargers, just with what Harbaugh said.
yeah
If you guys don't know, so Jim Harbaugh said he wouldn't be surprised if JJ McCarthy was the first
yeah.
quarterback selected in the draft.
Good thing he's not our coach. Oh my god,
I
it'd be so sad.
take that for what you will. Maybe Justin Herbert's on the way out. I'm not going to go that far, but uh, you know, it was interesting that you mentioned some of the trade packages. From what I was reading, the Bears at minimum we're talking about the second overall pick, the Commanders' second round pick, which was around like pick 40,
Yep.
and well, actually that
2024
would be our
picks.
own second round pick that we gave to them, and then an extra first rounder, and that was at the bare minimum. Do you think that package is enough to move up to one, or would you want more in that trade?
I think that's a really fair trade package. I like at the end of the day, it's moving from 1 to 2. I like if it was up to me, I would actually accept that trade package if we plan on building around Fields. If it's to draft Drake May, then no. If
Yeah.
it's, I'd rather just draft Caleb number 1, get the best prospect ever, and go ahead with it. Like if it doesn't work, we're done watching football. You know what I mean? It's no brainer. If everybody's saying it's a no brainer, then just deny it. Like maybe sure if they offer half their team, then yeah, then keep Fields. Why would you draft a quarterback? You don't need a rookie. Anyone could succeed. Me and you could probably succeed on the field if we had such a super team like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I also agree in terms of maybe it's not as much as of a given as some GMs. I mean, reports are coming out that many GMs are saying that they think the Bears will take a quarterback, but those GMs don't know what's going on in the building. Uh, right now we are acting as if it is a given. I think it's a very, very high probability. But nobody knows truly. The only evaluation that all of us on the outside, including the other 31 GMs in the league, have is the tape on Justin Fields and some like little rumors here and there. But the Bears see Justin Fields every single day in the building, and going back to even the fact that Luke Getsy's getting some offensive coordinator interviews, that some people in the league might think that Luke Getsy actually was held back by Justin Fields, but
Yeah.
clearly people in the building don't think that way because they fired Luke Getsy. So nobody knows what's going on in House Hall. They have
Yeah.
100 times the information on the situation as a GM looking on the outside. But if I had I'd say it's still a super high probability that Caleb Williams ends up as a Bear.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it right on the head. We've came to the point of the off season where we're really in a standstill right now. Not much going on. We just hired our OC. There's rumors flying, so we just want to address some of the stuff going down right now. And like we'll leave it at that. Kliff Kingsbury, I don't think it makes much of a difference in my opinion. If it was up to me, I wish it did, but I think we'll take Caleb out. Maybe it might be a good thing, maybe it might be a bad thing. I still think the Bears organization failed Justin Fields. That's for a different time. But I feel like with Caleb Williams, if he really is this amazing prospect, so be it. Let's get him. Let's win some games. At the end of the day, I just want to win. So if he can bring us wins, I'm there for it.
Yeah, I mean, and again, we'll address many of the rumors in this offseason. I mean, Kliff Kingsbury,
Definitely.
these rumors about him are just a very small piece. But again, these small rumors can turn into big things just because, nobody knows what's going on right now. And we're not gonna until the draft or maybe like the combine in that time. So, yeah, we'll keep you guys up to date.
For sure.
And thanks for watching.